What's up, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking higher versus lower reps and what's really better for your gains. I'm gonna break down the science behind it and what I recommend for your workouts. So if you're excited for this video, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.
It's gains time.
Based on the current body of literature, there isn't a simple number for once you go past this point, you're doing higher reps. The best definition I could find was from a 2017 meta-analysis where they defined lower load and as a result higher rep training as less than your 60% one rep max, versus higher load and as a result lower rep training as greater than your 60% one rep max. This as compared to the traditional bro knowledge of 1 to 6 reps for strength, 8 to 12 reps for muscle, and 15 or more reps for endurance. Next, science. There are 3 main mechanisms of muscle growth: mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. Depending on what style of training or which training techniques you're using, you will stimulate different mechanisms and as a result stimulate muscle growth. The way higher rep training is thought to work is via metabolic stress. Metabolic stress is maximized by keeping tension on the muscle via repeated contractions, such that blood continues pumping in but is not able to escape due to the lack of break between reps. The more reps you do, the more blood accumulates. Whereas lower rep training works via mechanical tension. Mechanical tension is maximized by lifting the heaviest weight you can handle through a full range of motion. Metabolic stress and mechanical tension are in a constant tug of war during your workout, meaning that one of more will usually mean less of the other. More reps generally means less weight you can handle, more weight generally means less reps you can do. Furthering this, recent studies, as well as a large meta-analysis, have concluded that both higher and lower rep training can equally stimulate muscle growth when performed for the same number of sets to near failure. Understanding that both high and low rep training can work, my advice is to combine them in a way that allows you to continue getting stronger over time. Because there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to continue pushing that intensity of metabolic stress, like there's a threshold for intensity somewhere along the line, but you can continue getting stronger. Heavier weights, more mechanical tension. It's a circle of progress. It's going to keep going. Your life's going to get better and better as you go. So the plan for today's workout is to start off with heavier movements, then progress into lighter weight movements, but maintain the intensity by doing some crazy stuff. I'm already out of breath. Let's get started. First up, we have got the Smith Machine Glute Bridge. Now my issue with glute bridges has always been that I either can't get under the bar or the range of motion is too short because the plates touch down first. This variation is going to solve both issues. I position the bench by centering it in the Smith machine, then adjusting forward and back until you can fit your entire body while being able to bridge vertically up with your hips. This will take some finessing, but it's important to get right so you don't hurt your low back. From there, the movement is exactly the same as a regular glute bridge. Here, I'm doing 10 reps at 100 pounds, which is about half, if not a little bit less than half, than my regular glute bridge weight. But since the Smith machine bar weight varies and this movement does take a little bit of practice, I recommend starting with just enough weight to feel your glutes working, then tweaking it from there. Next, we've got the 3/4 banded hack squat. Now, partial rep or constant tension training is popular in the bodybuilding world, but has been a little bit iffier in the evidence-based lifting community. However, based on the current body of literature, there may actually be an argument in favor of this when it comes to stimulating metabolic stress. It's not yet conclusive, but personally, I found this to be effective. Otherwise, you want to focus on resisting the band as you lower, lowering to just below parallel, then racing back up, but stopping short of lockout. This should light your legs and glutes up. Next up is our first superset, starting with the mid-cable CURTSY lunge. Now, I love CURTSY lunges, but I've always felt like the more weight I add, the less I end up feeling them in my glutes. This variation solves that issue. The reason being that the CURTSY lunge combines both vertical and horizontal movement. Here, you want to focus on hinging forward at your hips and visualizing the cable pulling your same side hip diagonally back. Really focus on keeping your working knee strong, not wobbly as you lower, and feeling the stretch build across your entire glute and up into your hip. What I like about the horizontal loading is that I actually find it really challenges your hip and knee stability as well as your entire glute musculature. Next, we're going straight into the sideline hip raise, supersetting same side for same side. That means you do your reps for the mid-cable CURTSY lunge on one side, then go straight into the sideline hip raise on that same side before repeating this entire superset on the other side, no rest. If you're struggling to feel this movement, make sure you're starting with your knees bent to near 90 degrees in front of your body, then visualize pushing the floor down with your working knee as you raise up. Ooh, we are moving in to another superset. We are starting with the Smith Machine Glute Ham Raise. I love the glute ham raise, but not all gyms have this piece of equipment, and it can also be tough to properly engage your glutes on. This variation is great because it keeps your knees bent, and so it limits the amount of lengthening and contracting your hamstrings can do, instead shifting the emphasis to your glutes. I set this up by setting the bar to just below chest height, loading a couple plates on each side because I am not taking any chances with this bar moving, and then positioning a bench far enough away so that when my hips were on it, my knees could bend to 90 degrees and touch the bar. Once in position, visualize thrusting your hips into the bench as you try pushing the bar up with your feet, squeezing your glutes at the top. Next up, we're supersetting that with a marching glute bridge. This is essentially the same movement, just flipped over, and we're marching our legs, starting the glute bridge position, then once stable, lift your legs up one at a time, keeping your hips as level as possible. And finally, at the end of this epic workout, we have got an abduction machine finisher. We're keeping this simple. Choose the heaviest weight you can handle for about 5 to 8 reps. We're gonna do that weight for 10 reps. Then we're gonna drop down a weight, do another 10, drop down a weight, do another 10. If you can't get 10 reps at just one weight down on the stack, drop 2 levels down. No big deal. The goal here is to keep tension on those glutes and keep that burn going. It is going to hurt, I promise you that, but I also promise it will be worth it. What's up? Hey, you made it this far in the video. Congrats. That's it for today, but if you found this helpful, hit that thumbs up, make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, keep making your gains, keep doing high and low reps. That's about all I got. Hope to see you in the next video.